Good Saturday morning, everybody. Trevor Thompson, the self-appointed Looney Tunes Critic. And today we are looking at the cartoon that started it all. And I'm sure I've said that before. There have been other landmarks. But this literally is the cartoon that started it all. This is Hugh and Rudy's first cartoon for Leon. Leon Schlesinger. In fact, I think this was, I could be wrong, but I think this was made to show Leon that they could make stuff for the budgets that they wanted to do. Because, you know, at this time, you had to compete with Disney and Fleischers. But Disney was really the unsung hero. A lot of frontal nudity in this cartoon, which is fine. I mean, and I guess, you know, maybe not a lot, but I mean, if there's more than one occasion, then I guess that's a lot, right? But yeah, Friz Freeling. Friz is the only animator that gets credit on this, but actually, Hugh and Rudy did animation for it too. They worked on this. Norm Blackburn, Rollin Hamilton, Paul J. Smith, and Carmen Maxwell all also worked on this one. And it really is just, you know, there's not much story, which is saying something when you consider that really no cartoon from the early 30s to the early 60s had any kind of notable story. Story really isn't important. Story really is not important at all in classic theatrical animation, you know, shorts, cartoony animation. But even barring that, it's like there's really not a story at all. It's really just the spectacle of, hey, look, we can make these drawings move in sync to this music and to this, you know, this vocal track. It's really the spectacle of that rather than engaging an audience. And that's kind of what's going on here too, is as a pitch for this. Is they're showing, hey, we can take we can take drawings of a little Sambo man and you make him dance around to the music. Although I did see this on Nickelodeon. Didn't see it a lot, but I did see it on Nickelodeon. And what was funny about the Nickelodeon airing of this was that when the car's chasing him later on, Bosco says "Mammy," which, you know, this is the late 80s when Nickelodeon was airing these, and it's like, really? You don't want kids to hear the word "mammy"? We've been watching Mammy Two Shoes for the last 20 years in the Tom and Jerry cartoons. You know, it's like, but this, you know, there's a lot of influence in this cartoon. I tried I tried and succeeded for many years to get my girlfriend to do this exact same dance for me, and you know, ladies, if you're in love with a cartoon fan, make sure to do that dance for him. I guarantee you he'll do whatever you want. But it only works if he's playing saxophone and you pour a bathtub's worth of water into it. That's the only way that dropping trow for your boyfriend will ever work, ladies. Take it from me. And I always wondered if this This scene here was inspired by Plain Crazy, the Byworks Disney and Minnie and Mickey cartoon. I mean, and I mean, when I say influenced, I mean like directly influenced, you know. But I guess it wouldn't have been unless they actually started to chase the cow and with the car here. So yeah, you can have big swinging cow teats in your cartoon. That's fine. That's fine for Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon's okay with that. Nickelodeon is okay with where he said mammy there, but you can't have that. You can't have him say mammy. You can have your female protagonist, you know, lift her skirt up and drop her panties and wave her torso around. That's fine. You know, kids aren't going to read into that. It's like, you kind of wonder. It's like, you're a Nickelodeon, you're a kids network. Don't any of you have kids? Don't you understand how curious children are? I've often wondered, is Buddy more or less offensive as a character? Mainly because of his lack of character and his lack of anything, you know, like Buddy's a pretty much nothing character, but he's... Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. Yeah, you can have boulders to the crotch, you know, getting knocked in the nuts with every one of these. That's fine. Frontal nudity is fine. Genital mutilation is fine. Just don't say mammy, whatever you do. Goodness gracious. There are children watching. There are children watching while we mutilate genitals and have frontal nudity and cow udders all over the screen. Somebody also tell me, because I can't seem to remember which cartoon this was. There's a Bosco cartoon that ends with Hugh and Rudy looking at the cartoon on a projector in their office as he's, you know, running. He's on horseback to go save his girlfriend, and they're like, "How do we end the cartoon? I don't know. Let's figure it out on Monday." And they walk away, and they leave with it in frame. I wish I knew that one. I'd do that. I'll eventually do that one because that's probably the only one that was interesting. Anyway, see you next week, everybody.